Okay, let's start in child's pose. Toes together, knees together or apart. Stretch out on your mat. Take some nice deep breaths. And let's try a little twist here. So bring your right arm under your left. And then switch sides. And come back to child's pose. Let's come up on all fours. Knees under hips. Let's keep the hips where they are as you walk your hands forward into a melting heart. Stretching into the chest and shoulders. Chin or forehead on the floor. And walk hands back under shoulders. And let's bring the right arm under the left for thread the needle. And switch sides. Come back to all fours. Let's curl the toes under and just hover the knees off the floor a couple inches. Activate your core. And lower the knees. Let's do some cat cows. And come back to neutral spine, curl the toes under, lift the knees. Keep your abdomen pulling in. Keep your breath even. And knees down. Let's walk the hands forward a little bit. Come into downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Let's walk with feet out. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. And then bending into your knees a little bit, lift your hips, push the floor away. Roll your triceps in and up. Nice deep inhale and exhale through your mouth. And then let's lift the right leg up. Bend your right knee, open your hips out to the side. Get a big stretch in your hips. And then we're going to step that right foot to the outside of your right hand. And let your back knee come down. And let the right knee fall open to the outside, stretching into that right hip. And then let's curl the back toes under. Pick up the back knee, make sure you're back on the sole of your right foot. And we're gonna lift the right leg up in the air again, back behind you into three-legged dog. And then we'll step that right foot forward and through between your hands, going into our low lunge. So make sure that you have a nice solid foundation here with your legs. We're about to come up into high lunge. So let's stabilize the hips and then lift up, arms up. You can have a little bend in the back leg to help you keep your spine stacked. Just trying to avoid a big sway in the lower back. Warrior two, set the back heel down. Sink down into that front leg, reach your arms in opposite directions. And let's straighten the front leg and reverse triangle. Come back to warrior two. Come back to our high lunge. Hands down, low lunge. Back to three-legged dog. Lift your right leg. And right foot down. All right, lift the left leg, bend your left knee, open your hips out to the side. Try to get a nice big stretch in your hips. Heel in, lift your knee high. And let's step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Back knee comes down, let your left knee wing out to the side. And breathe into this big hip opener. Right, so bring that left knee back in, curl your toes under, lift your knee off the floor, and we'll step back into three-legged dog, lift the left leg, and step your left foot in between your hands, low lunge. So get your hips nice and stable, and then we'll come up into our high lunge. And again, here you can have the back leg a little bent. Deep bend in the front leg. Warrior two. Shoulders should be down away from the ears. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and then reach your fingers out. Straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Come back to warrior two. Back to high lunge. Hands to the floor. And lift the left leg behind you, three-legged dog. And left foot down. Let's come into plank. We're going to come into side plank on the right side. So right arm down, left arm up. Stack your legs, lift your hips. Option here to lift the left leg. And left leg down to plank pose. Let's to the other side, side plank. Lift your right arm, stack your right shoulder over your left shoulder, over your wrist. Lift your hips. Option here to lift the right leg. Right leg down, face the mat, plank pose. And then let's bring the knees to the floor. Keep your toes curled under. Sit back on your heels. We'll bring the right arm across for shoulder stretch. And switch sides. And release. And let's come back to all fours. Uncurl your toes. Sit back on your heels. And just feel this lengthening the tops of your ankles. We're going to come back into downward dog. All right, so we'll do the sequence again. So lift your left or your right leg. Bend your right knee, open your hips out to the side. Step your right foot forward to the outside of your hands. Back knee down. And then coming onto the edge of the right foot, the right knee falls away. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg. And then right foot comes between the hands, low lunge. Make sure your feet are set up about hip width between your feet. Squeeze your glutes, lift up. Warrior two. Sink into that front knee. Straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Just lightly touching the back leg with your left hand. You're going to use your core strength to lift your upper body. Warrior two. High lunge. Hands down. Three-legged dog. Right leg down. And lift the left leg. Bend your left knee, open your hips out to the side. Step the right foot to the outside of the mat. Back knee down. And sink into your hips. Roll the back toes under. Lift the knee and step back into three-legged dog. Then bring the left foot forward between your hands, low lunge. Lift up, arms up, high lunge. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Legs strong, quads engaged for this one. Back to warrior two. And high lunge. Hands down. Lift your left leg, three-legged dog. Left leg down. And come forward into plank pose. Come into plank on the right hand, left arm up. Lift your hips. Option to lift the top leg. Left leg down, face the mat, plank pose. And then other side, lift your right arm. Lift your hips. Maybe lift the right leg. And right leg down, face the floor. Knees down. Keep your toes under. Let's sit back on the heels. Bring the right arm across. And left arm across. And release. Let's bring the tops of the feet to the floor. We'll stretch the forearms, bringing their palms to the mat, fingers facing back towards you. And then we'll switch sides, back of your hands to the mat. Being gentle here with your wrists. Bring the weight off your wrists. Let's do some tight fists, wide fingers. And let's walk forward onto our stomachs, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows under, shoulders. Press your palms into the floor. Pull your chest forward. Shoulders back and down. Let's bring the palms a little wider. Press up. Make sure there's no pinching in the lower back. Might help to bring the chest more forward or engage your glutes. Slowly lower down. Come into cobra, so squeeze your legs together. Palms flat under your shoulders. Elbows are in, touching your body. Squeeze your glutes and then lift your upper body. Using your back strength only, no weight in the hands. Contract your quads so your knees lift off the floor. Tops of your feet press down into the floor. Shoulders are relaxed down and back. Make sure you're breathing normally. Slowly lower down, bring your right ear on the mat, arms by your sides. Bring your chin forward again, bring your palms flat under your shoulders, arms in, touching your body. Again, squeeze your legs, squeeze your quads, your glutes. And then slowly lift your upper body off the floor, use just your back strength. Keep your shoulders totally relaxed. It's just your lower body and your back that is engaged here. If you're having trouble breathing, lower down until you can breathe comfortably. Now at the end here, we're going to press a little bit into the hands so you can come up a little higher. Feel that engaging a little farther up your back. And then slowly lower down, bring your left ear on the mat and arms by your sides. Now coming back up into Sphinx position, elbows under your shoulders. Let's reach back, grab the left foot and pull that leg in for a quad stretch on the left. And release. Let's reach back, grab the right foot. Pull the right foot in. Okay, press that right hip bone into the floor as you pull the heel towards your butt. And release the right foot. Let's press back onto our heels. And we'll do rabbit pose after all that back bending. So we're going to be rounding in as tightly as we can and then grabbing the heels. So start by tucking your chin to your chest, curling in, bringing your top of your head to the floor and your forehead to your knees. Grab your heels as you lift your hips into the air. Keep your shoulders up away from your ears and your belly pulling in. Now slowly round back up, stack your spine one vertebra at a time. Find one spot for your eyes to focus. Take a few breaths here. Let's do that one more time. So tuck your chin to your chest, curl your spine, forehead to your knees, top of your head to the floor. Grab your heels, lift your hips. Your goal is to get a nice big rounding on your back to stretch open the back of the spine. And slowly come back up. And let's come into a squat. And let's see if from this squat we can come all the way to standing with our arms raised. Press into your heels, lift up, arms up. And we're going to come back into our squat, palms together, sit down. And come up. And sit down. One more time, let's lift up. And from here, we'll bring the feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward, and sit down into chair pose. Make sure your knees are back so you can see your toes when you look down. Reach through the pinky side of your arms. And then palms together, let's dangle. If you'd like, you can grab your elbows. And from here, let's release the elbows, come back into chair pose. And one more time, dangle. And from here, let's stomach in, round up one vertebra at a time to standing. And let's end our standing with tree pose. So let's do traditional tree pose where you either have your sole of your foot against your calf, or if you can bring it up against your thigh, you can have it up there. Just make sure you're not pressing your foot into the side of your knee. So standing legs strong, press your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. You should feel your inner thigh muscles activating. Stomach in, lengthen through the crown of your head. Add any arms you'd like. And release. Let's come to the other side. So again, press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Stomach in. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Add any arms you would like. And release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, flat back. Forward fold and round up again. Second set of tree pose. And release, other side. And release, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And fold. And walk the hands forward into plank. Take a few breaths here, keeping your abdomen nice and engaged. And slowly bring knees to the mat. Swing the legs around to the front. Lie on your back. Let's pull the right knee in, keep the left leg long. And we'll pull that right knee across for a reclining twist. Back to center. Switch legs. Pull that left knee in. Right leg is long. Then pull the left knee across. Back to center. Let's hug the knees in. Forehead to knees. And then spread your legs out, long arms by your side for Savasana. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, release everything onto the mat. Focus just on your inhales and exhales, following your exhales all the way to the end to help you relax. Your mind has wandered, come back to your breath. Now start to deepen your breath. Move your fingers and toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. If you'd like, bring your arms over your head for a full body stretch. Then either turn onto your side and push up or roll on your spine back to seated.